happy Sunday, everybody. Woo! Happy Sunday. Oh my God. Like I'm trying to get my life right. Woo, today. This weekend has flew by so fast. And I was like, I feel like I'm starting to come down with something. I don't know if it's the weather or the seasons or just being back to school with the kids. But I'm like, oh my God. I like something is trying to brew. I don't know what it is, but today I'm making sure that I got me a nice cup of hot tea to try to help whatever is trying to brew. Cause honey, your sister ain't got time for that. Ain't got time for that at all. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. But how's everybody doing on this Sunday? How's everybody doing on this Sunday? Whew, I hope you have been having a good weekend. Especially since summer is almost over. Oh man. Like when I think about that, I'm like, Jesus. Whew, we only got like a couple more weeks before summer is officially over. And I'm looking at people putting their fun family videos on of them at the beach and all this good stuff. I'm like, wow. Man. I'm like, ooh, it must be nice. Must be nice. I know I have not had a lot of time to do anything at all. I'm like, geez. Yeah. I feel like you there, babe? Thank you for being here. Yeah, like I'm feeling like, whoo, this summer is like flying by. I got to do like one big shebang, over the summer, have fun, be in the heat and all that good stuff, dip my body in the water. I can't even say that I did like heavy stuff this summer, I should say, like a lot of like swimming and stuff like that. But I got to do a little bit of something. You said yes, it's in the bay. Oh, it's in the bay. Good. Hey, Angel, how are you?
Hi, Mom. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I was just literally talking about how my weekend is going because, yeah, I'm like something is brewing in the air.
Oh,
Something's brewing in the air. I don't know, is it because I'm back at work but dealing with the kids, or is the seasons changing? Something is brewing, and I am trying to combat it. And I said, let me have my cup of hot tea. So while we're doing sister talk today,
right.
I will be sipping my tea. So, for those that are joining us today for Sister Talk, you will see that sister and co-host is living her best life. She's on vacation. My niece's birthday was a few days ago, so she went to visit her baby and just bring in the celebration and stuff with her in the sunny state. So, but I have my fill-in co-host, my lovely daughter.
Hi,
So you want to introduce yourself, love?
Okay, hi. I'm Angel. I'm TV's life's youngest daughter. Thank you, everyone, for joining the live.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So for those that don't know, like my daughter, she be in the chat, being the mod with the most, greeting you as you come in and stuff, giving y'all some love, and let you know that she appreciates you, So I'm so happy that she is able to be my co-host today for Sister Talk. So how's your day been going?
My day has been going good. I tuned into my church service.
Nice.
Beautiful service, by the way. Loved it.
Love it. Love it. Love
Yeah.
it. Good. Yes. Yeah. So I'm glad you were having a good day. So yeah. So I guess we better dive into this topic. What you think?
I think it's time
I
to get
think it's
started.
time to. Yes. All right. So, all right. So this one is kind of hits very close to home for me, and I'm pretty sure it is close to home for you because throughout the years I've experienced a lot of these different challenges. So today we're going to talk about, how to keep your shines like when others try to dim it. So like keeping your shine in spaces that dim your light. And that topic for me is very, very real because I've actually been in situations like that. I've been in situations like that. So I'm going to just start breaking it down a little bit so we can dive into this topic. So it's like, you can have different scenarios of your light being dimmed, whether it's in your workplace, whether it's with family, whether it's with friendships, even social media can dim your light. So we're just going to kind of talk about it, and I'm just going to give some scenarios of times where I felt like my light was dimmed, and I'm sure Angel could probably share some too. But it's like before you can like even like safeguard your like you gotta recognize like the environments, right? And the moments that threaten to dull your light. Like you gotta think about that, right? So and sometimes the dim can be like real subtle. Like it might not be out loud, like, okay, like no, you be quiet, like it ain't about you, about me. Like it can be real subtle dimming to your light, right? And like I was saying, like it can sometimes it can manifest like in the workplace culture, right? Or even like in your social circles. So I could think for me, when I think about workplace, I could think about especially when I dove back into like education. So that's a prime example for me. I did like a whole career shift because I was doing one career, which was centered around like a lot of business stuff. But I had decided to go back to my roots, things that I really love, which was education. But going back into that education world, it's like you go into it, you have these big dreams that you want to make a difference and stuff. Yeah, player, they are haters for real, right? Yeah, so you want to make a difference. But in the world of education, it's a whole different animal because you have those people that's probably been in it for years and years and years, and they've been established, and they feel like that they are that end all be all, right? And then you come into the space and they're like, okay, like what can you bring to the table? Like, do you know what you're doing? Like you get all these different like avenues like thrown at you because sometimes people tend to like look at you sideways, like, okay, like are you good? Like you get all these like different things, right? Now I know I've experienced that, right? So sometimes when you come in to the world of education, especially in a new environment, it's a lot of proving yourself, right? You really have to like show that you one belong there, two that you know what you're doing, right? And that you can match any educators like energy, any expertise, because like you will get like a lot of doubters. And I can think vividly to me having to like prove myself, even though I came from like a whole different school, a whole school district. When I came into a new environment, I really had to like prove like my skills, what I can do. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was like climbing my way, climbing and clawing my way to be validated, to feel accepted, to be seen, right? And not played in the background. So it's like it took a long time for to get to that point, but I feel like when we talk about dimming lights, that it was a lot of like outshining, like people that have like been there, or they felt like they were more experienced, or they had a lot more education than I did. It was like, okay, you just sit back, you just play the background and let me do the work. So I really had to like fight just to like stop being dimmed, and let my light peek through. So I feel like once I started like advocating and let that light actually start like shining for people who can see it, that's when everybody just kind of like, oh man, like wow, 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 wow. It started opening eyes, but sometimes it don't happen like right away or overnight. And if you sit quiet, it's not going to happen either. Sometimes you got to make it happen, you know. So that was one of my strong examples of like workplace dimming, because my light got dim for a minute, and I literally had to be like, hey, I'm over here, you know. Like I can contribute a lot, you know, if you just give me that chance to show you that what I can do, right? So do you have any examples of workplace dimming, or should we go to the next subject?
I won't say workplace dimming, um, anything like that, but we can go on to the next.
Okay. So what about far as family?
Yes.
Family dynamic. Right? Mm.
That hits close to home for me. Yes.
Okay.
Family dimming. Okay. In my experience, I have had countless situations where I've been around family, and mind you, I'm not someone who talks a lot. I'm typically more shy, more reserved. I keep to myself. Um, but it doesn't mean that I'm foolish. It doesn't mean that I don't know better or I don't understand what's happening or what's going on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times I've experienced being looked down on as if I don't know what I'm doing, as if I don't understand anything. I've had
Mm-hmm.
moments where I've just tried to be myself, whether that is just dancing to random music or singing, just trying to be my best self. I've
Mm-hmm.
been around family that are more comfortable with sitting in misery, with
Mm-hmm.
wanting to gossip, look down on other family members, just want to complain all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not someone I am or someone I want to be. So I tend to just kind of like distance myself from that. I kind of like do my own thing. And in return for me trying to do my own thing to keep away from that, now I'm looked at like, what's wrong with her? This miserable girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then I can feel it. They start treating me some way and not trying to talk to me, ignoring me, leaving me left out, or even speaking behind my back. And, before I would act as if I had, something to prove, like, hey, I exist, look at me, like, there's nothing wrong with me. And
Mm-hmm.
really, what I needed to understand was to stop trying to cater to them in their misery because misery loves company. And that's what
Absolutely.
they want. They want that to be feed into.
Mm-hmm.
People who
Mm-hmm.
are miserable love when others are miserable with them. And they love making other people miserable. That's where
Mm-hmm.
I just have to stay away, do my own thing. Like you have your own bubble, I have mine. Don't dim my
Mm-hmm.
light. And
Yes.
I won't bother you.
Exactly. Right. And it said like we were just talking about like family, sometimes like family patterns. And I know like growing up, like especially back in the day when they would say like, especially when it comes to children, like you should be seen and not heard and stuff like that, right? And they teach like kids to like take up less space, right? Be agreeable, right? Always agree, even if you have your own opinion, right? Even if you have your own thoughts or you can have your own say so in certain things. It's like they definitely would try to like dim it, like, no. You're a child, you stay in child place, you don't get to talk, you don't get to speak. You know what I'm saying? And that's history. Like that's real life. Like I remember like being as a kid and not having a lot of say so and things, right? It's like, no, I'm the adult. My way is always the right way. You don't get to speak up for yourself, right? And I think that's what a lot of problems come into, especially with kids growing up because they have been dimmed for so long and not being able to like
Yeah.
speak out, right? It just passes on from generation to generation. Like, you're seen, you're not heard, and then when you start to cry out, then you start like seeing behaviors and you start seeing like different things. And then you're like, hey, wow, like, why is that happening? Like, then you want to look at them like all sideways. But it's like,
Yes.
but did you let them have a voice? You
Yeah.
know, and stop like trying to keep them sitting in the corner, sitting quiet. And with that mentality that is my way or the highway or what I say go, right? A lot of times people in general can throw shade because of jealousy. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I could think of a lot of situations with family myself, right? And I think in the past segments, like with me, like me and your auntie, we've talked about, sometimes you have to like distance yourself from family because of course they're your blood, right? But you know, you can kind of sort of choose your family. Like you can't choose your blood family, but you can choose who you want to be around you, who you
Yes.
want to call family.
Right.
You know, so and sometimes people that's not born into your family, you know, can be more family than those that are actually related to you by blood,
Right.
right? And can actually actually treat you better, right? So, I have talked about it, like having to like distance myself from family and stuff because especially family that I feel like has been trying to like dim my light, right? So it's a known fact that I had like a crazy experience a little while ago with a family member um really like trying to like dim my light. So I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it because I had a lot of respect for this family member, right? And we were always close for a long time. We were close, right? um but it seemed like once we started colliding worlds, like having like a lot of the same interests, then it went from them trying to dim my light. I could say really trying to dim my light. Like, okay, like when you have that family that you kind of look up to and you have a lot of respect for, um you know, when they're like saying things or they're like doing things and it that makes you look like, wow, like why are you saying they're doing that? Like that was my experience. Like I was like, why are you saying that? Why are you doing that? Right. And I didn't understand it, right? But it was like little subtle. Like we said, like dim sometimes can be real subtle, right? So the little subtle cues were happening. The subtleness was happening, right? And I'm like, well, this is my family, like, hi, joking. I'm joking, I'm laughing it off, right? But it was the subtleness for me, right? It was like, okay, the random text messages. I'm like, okay, why are they texting me this, right? And it was like, it made me like think about it, but I was like, no, yeah, I'm not. It ain't nothing to it. They're just voicing their opinion or something, right? But then it's like, okay, it escalated from sending me text messages, right, to now I'm gonna kind of be a little bolder with it. I'm not gonna be subtle, right? I'm not gonna be subtle, right? I'm gonna be a little more bolder with it. So then it's like now it's like, okay, now I'm gonna show you out loud that I really want to dim your light. Like I don't want any light shining on you. No, I don't want no light shining on you. So I'm going to make sure that I don't put my flashlight on you, so nobody knows, right? Making sure that I don't highlight you because I don't want nobody to see you. So I'm really trying to dim your light. I don't want you to shine. So I started noticing this. So then it came to that point where I was like, oh man, I started putting it together. Starting putting the pieces together. I was like, okay. I was getting text messages. It started with text messages, right? Um, which I didn't understand, but it started with the text messages, and then it escalated to, I'm just not going to even acknowledge you, okay? And like a social setting, I'm not going to acknowledge you, okay? Because I'm trying to dim that light. I don't want to put no shine on you, okay? Because if your light is shining, then you're going to infringe in my light. So I was kind of like, whew, wow, let me just back away a little bit. Let me just back a little bit and just kind of watch the scene, right? Just watch the scene. So as I'm watching and seeing, I was like, huh. It was solidified. It was like, okay, so they really are trying to dim my light. And this is family. This is family that's literally trying to dim my light. They do not want me to shine. They do not want me to be seen. So they feel like if they don't acknowledge me, then nobody else will see me, right? That was their way of trying to dim my light. But sometimes, you trying to dim somebody's light actually puts more attention to your light. You know what I'm saying? So when I say, trying to sabotage or trying to do things so the light is not shined on someone, can actually make it shine a little more, right? Because some people are so powerful with their energy that they can't help but get noticed, right? So it's hard to really like dim somebody's light for if they are meant to shine, is what I'm trying to say, right? So
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So like I was saying, like how I had to sit back and just kind of watch the scene, right? Or just to kind of like get a little clarity, like, am I tripping? Like, am I seeing something that ain't there, right? It really had me like thinking about it, right? And just replaying stuff in my mind, right? So, and they said like when you like recognizing the dim, like you'll start to get like sensations in your body and your mind, right? When you're in these spaces. And when I say like that chill would go up and down my spine, I'm like, wow, like this person is really, really, really having or struggling with me being in this space. And I can feel it. Like the tension is there, right? They're being intentional to not put any shine on me, right? So it does like it gives you like a weird energy. I don't know if you've been in a space where you felt like you weren't supposed to be seen or heard, and it gives you that weird feeling when you go into that space. Have you gone to a space like that?
Into a space like that. I lived in space like that where I just walk in and my presence immediately feels like I'm unwelcomed. It's
Yeah.
like a light walking into darkness where it was never supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you just you immediately feel it. You feel it in your body, you feel it emotionally. You can tell when that negative energy is around. You can tell when you're not wanted.
Right,
And
right, right.
so I have been there, walked into a space where I can already tell just by the looks and that like non-interaction, that kind of just like
Mm. So did you feel yourself withdrawing when in those spaces?
um whenever that happened, I used to feel withdrawn. I used to just afterwards I would kind of cave in and feel down about it until I stopped letting it bother me because darkness does not like the light. So if you walk in with your light and the darkness is kind of like towards you, clearly you're doing something right.
That part.
You know?
That part. That part. Absolutely. 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 Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. 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 Because sometimes, like, you could like feel yourself withdrawing from the situation, or even second guessing, and like,
Yeah.
like, should I be in this space? Like, Right, right.
Right.
Or or like, and this is my favorite one is like how you like mute yourself, right? Like it's something that you want to say, but you find yourself like, no, I'm not going to say that, or I'm going to like tweak that a little bit, let it come out a little different, or something like that, because if you really say or express yourself the way you want to, then it's really going to like cause a problem because you're in that space and you find yourself not saying anything. And like that can happen in like so many different situations too. Like, you know, I know we're talking about like family dynamics and stuff, but like I said, like it could happen like at work, like, or even like in a relationship. Sometimes you can be in a relationship and can't speak your mind, right? You
Right.
gotta like dim your light so they can feel important, right? So they can shine. And a lot of times, sometimes they'll try to smother your light, like, this ain't about you, it's about me, right? Yeah. I've been in that situation too, like far as like relationships, right? And I think I kind of talked about it a little in the past of like wanting to like break free because I feel like I couldn't be the best version of myself in that situation, right? So, when people are like Pops was saying, like when they feeling jealous or they feel inferior to you or they feel that you are going to shine brighter to them, they're going to do whatever they can to try to dim that light, right?
Right.
Whatever they got to do. If they want to silence you, whether they try to outshine you, whatever they're going to do, they're going to try to dim your light because they know it's something special about you, that your light is shining bright, right? And like you said, like that you're doing something right if people are trying to dim your light, right?
Exactly.
If they are trying to outshine you, right? So, and 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 two, what I also noticed, like sometimes, like when you're in spaces where people really don't want you to shine, like if you give like an idea or something, you have an idea. Say everybody's in the space, or it could be you and this person. You come up with an idea, basket of crabs, exactly. Come up with an idea, and they say, "Oh, no, 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 no." No, 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 I got this. Are we gonna do it like this, like that? Now, your idea could have been great, right? You could have had a lot of input, right? But because it's your idea, it'll get like dismissed, and they say, no, 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 no. I wanna be the one to shine in this situation. So we just gonna chop your idea, and sometimes too, they might take your idea and claim it for themselves. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They might try to claim for itself and try to take all the credit for it. Like, yeah, yeah. I've been in the situations where I'll just come up and I'll say, okay, well, why don't we do this? Or I can suggest this, and they'll I'll get the feedback boxes at work too. Do it all the time. Exactly, exactly. Like they'll take your idea and like run with it. Right. When you present it, it's like, no, 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 no. We're gonna do this way, or I got a better idea, right? But then as you'll see them taking that same exactly idea that you have presented on the table and claiming for themselves and do it. You be like, huh, huh, wait a minute. I came up with that idea. You know what I'm saying? My idea, right? It wasn't cool when I presented it, but you knew it was a good idea and you didn't want it to outshine you, so you took my idea. Right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. And and then, when we speak about like dimming, like have you ever like had pressure to like fit into a situation that you didn't really fit into, you know? Like everybody is thinking one way, and you get in that space and he's like, well, I don't belong here. Like,
Yes. So I've been around two people before, a couple who has this strange ideology on the way that they look at people and other family. They seem to have kind of an ego problem.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So when said other family isn't praising them or, kissing their butt, they want to be hostile, be kind of like, oh, that person is just like too sensitive, or oh, there's something wrong with that person, and just like any other nasty insult under the sun. And then they look towards me for like that validation, that knuckleheadedness that they have um to feed into it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's like if I say anything that goes against what they truly believe to be true, that they believe that these other family or these other people is out for blood, or they're not treating them how they're supposed to be and treating
Mm-hmm.
them,
Mm-hmm.
that they're not good, that they're not good enough and all that. And so there's times where I felt like, man, I can't like speak up, or I can't say anything honest because I'm going to get attacked by
Right.
them. I'm going to
Right.
get
Right.
mistreated by them the same way that they're treating these other family members or other people. And
Right.
but
Right.
on the outside looking in, I'm like, but man, you guys are just so wrong. You don't understand what's actually
Right.
happening here or how they feel, which
Mm-hmm.
is nothing hostile against you. Can't say that.
Right. 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 That's a tough situation to be in, right? When like you're in the space and like you said, you see something that you really want to speak up on, and but you know that it's going to be like a kind of like a backlash or something, like you said, that being seen but not being heard type of situation, right? And like dimming your light is like really serious, and I feel like a lot of people probably have gone through that at some point in their life, just like, having somebody try to smother their shine. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want you to shine, you know. So, and it's like sometimes the energy, like your energy can like really like drop, you know. Like you said, like being in a space like you seeing and you like, okay, well, I know that if I say something that I'm gonna be the brunt of the attack too, right? Like, and I mean, like, so, like it could, like, really, really, like, shift your energy or stuff, right? Um, and I know too, like, when, like, for I could say for me, like, being in situations like that is like, okay, like, do you make eye contact with that person, or do you just kind of just say, you know what, that's not even going. I'm gonna just look away. I'm gonna just look away. Right. Right, right. Yeah. So it's like how you say, like you just blend in instead of standing out. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just gonna sit here, I'm just gonna blend in with the crowd. I ain't even gonna stand up, I ain't even gonna shine the light on me. Right, right. Yeah, 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 yeah. But but a lot of environments are really not built, to like nurture your kind of light. It's really not. It's really not built for it, right? Um, but that's okay. But it's like your job to like exude like that radiance, right? You know, and let your bright light flicker, and sometimes it's hard, like in situations, sometimes it is hard, to let that your light like radiate and say, hey, I'm here, I got a voice, I got an opinion, I can add something to that, right? Because especially if somebody feels inferior or feels intimidated, they're not gonna want to hear that. They're just like, no, you just blend in, you sit there, you just be cute or whatever, whatever you need to do. Don't say nothing. And it made me think about, because I was listening to something the other day on the radio, and it was like, it was a question like to like a survey to men, like, would you rather have like a beautiful woman with brains? No, would you no, yeah, it was like would you rather have a beautiful woman with no brains or have like an average woman and she very smart and intelligent? Hey, Arthur Parker, thank you for coming in. Right. So hands down, the guys are like, I'd rather have that beautiful woman with no brains, so I can just say, "Go sit your beautiful self down over in the corner." It's like, oh my god, typical, right? Like like it's like if you have brains and intelligence and your light is shy, they don't want that. No. You just stay over there, stay cute in the corner, and I'll make the decision for you, which is so jacked up.
They don't want you to talk back.
This is so jacked. I'm like, man, I was like, but I had to laugh because I was like, there's so many men that think about that, right? I mean, when you have like the trophy women, like they just want you in the arm just for the looks. That you know, you can be dippy and they ain't got no brains or nothing, but that's what they want because they want to feel inferior, right? They want to feel like, they're the head man in charge, you know. So yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny. But it was another analogy, like, but like, why do we like try to shrink ourselves like in these situations, right?
Right.
And it's like that instinct to like shrink ourselves is like really human. It's human nature, you know.
Yeah.
How you say, like you want to like blend, you want to blend in, right? You want to belong in that situation or something. You want to like avoid conflict, right? Right, and also try to preserve relationships. That's like a big
Yes.
that like you said, like if you say something, you speak out on something that it might impact your relationship with a certain person or individuals, right?
Right.
But I wanna just put a pin on that, right? Because I had to learn. It took a long time, right? Like I would be that one that would like silence myself, not want to speak up, even though it's something I really wanted to say or I had an opinion on something, just to avoid like conflict, or like try to preserve the relationship. But um, as I was doing that, I just kept thinking about this little voice, like as a kid growing up, right? Because we grew up down south, and I was always that quiet kid, that shy kid that would never want to speak up for something. If I wanted something, I would say quiet, knowing good well I wanted it or I wanted to ask for something, right? And somebody said to me, listen, as a kid, and every time as I got older, I kept thinking about that voice, right? They said to me, they said, a closed mouth does not get fed.
That's true.
A closed mouth does not get fed, right? So as I got older, it started resonating with me like, yeah, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So that like just replaying the words in my mind was make me think like, yeah, so that's their way of telling me that if you don't speak up for yourself, if you don't say what you need, you don't voice your opinion, then nobody's ever gonna know. You're not gonna ever get what you want or you need in life because you're keeping your mouth closed, right?
Right.
And it was like they said that to me because it was something I really want, and I sat there quiet the whole day and didn't open my mouth. Then I opened my mouth. So it prompted me to say, well, a closed mouth don't get fed. So it's like if you wanted something, you gotta speak up for it. No, nobody's gonna read your mind, right? Like stop being in spaces where you feel like you gotta dim yourself, like you gotta like be invisible, or you just gotta like blend in and go with the flow, knowing that it's something that you need to say, it's something that you want, because it's not gonna happen.
Right.
Everybody not gonna be on the same page as you. Not everybody going say, hey, well, what do you think? What's your idea? Would you like this? You
Right.
know? So as those words resonated with me as I got older, I started saying, yeah, closed mouth don't get fed. So that made me like really started like speaking up and advocating for myself. I'm like, even if it's in jeopardy of a relationship.
Mm.
But on the flip side of that, if you're not allowed to be yourself, if you're not allowed to speak up, right? If you're not allowed to shine your light with an individual or said people, then that's not the right crowd for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If they want to keep you silent and you can't be yourself, that's not the right crowd for you.
Mm.
It's not the right crowd for you, right? Um, and and I had to learn, like, sometimes people will try to like minimize like your achievements and what you accomplished because they feel threatened by you.
Exactly. Exactly.
You
You
know?
know, then they'll tell you like, "Oh, you think you know everything."
Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
A lot of people feel threatened, and that's where like a lot of jealousy come in too. Like people were literally like try to like sabotage you.
Right.
That sabotaging is so so big. They literally try to sabotage,
Mhm.
right? Because they feel threatened, right? Or like if you have an opinion about something, they'll try to like downplay it. Be like, nah, 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 whatever, like that. And sometimes it happens so often when you're around certain people or in a certain space, like you might tend to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep my opinions to myself. I'm not gonna say anything. If it's gonna keep the peace, you know. I mean, and it happens so often. Like it's like as I'm saying it, like I could think like just like relationships and like friendships, like just trying to keep that peace
Mhm.
without being opinionated. But I'm like that season age now, right? So I'm like, if you don't like what I'm saying, that's your problem. That's your problem. Like that's a you thing. It's not a me thing at this point. 'Cause I'm gonna speak my mind, right?
Right.
It's like I have no problem. I have no problem speaking up and like advocating for myself now because I'm like, you ain't gonna do it. I'm like, you want me to stay quiet. That's the whole thing.
Right.
You
Exactly.
want me to stay quiet. You want me to stay quiet, right? Yeah. But but when I look at like adults, especially like people like my age or something that don't want to speak up or they real soft about stuff, I'm like, wow, like what happened to you? Right? Like were you like bullied as a kid or something, or like did you get like a lot of rejection and stuff? First speaking up and stuff like that, right? Like I recently just had to say that I was like, you better speak up, use your voice. You know what I mean? Like speak up, use your voice, because if you don't, like you're gonna always be dimmed. You're gonna always be dimmed. And if you're not speaking up or advocating for yourself, like chances are nobody else is gonna do it. You
Right.
know, and I can honestly say that it took me a very, very, very long time to stop like dimming my light and letting other people dim my light. Like you said, for the fear of, you know, messing up a relationship, or trying to like keep the peace and stuff, right? And especially if you're around somebody that has like them big personalities, and they always wanna be the bright shining star in every situation, right? They're gonna have a problem. They're gonna definitely have a problem with you trying to like, hey, wait a minute, I want to shine too. I want to give a little bit of that input. They're gonna have a real problem with that. They're really
Right.
gonna have a big problem with that. You know. So like I had so many different like experiences, and like I could go on and on and on about like all of like the different scenarios, right? Where I had to like dummy down or
Mhm.
or say, you know what, you right, no, good dog well. Good dog well that I'm like, you wrong with two left shoes. I'm saying you wrong with two left shoes. You don't know what you're talking about. You about to lead us into a ditch. Oh man. like, this about to go so wrong, but sometimes I also learn too that sometimes you gotta let people fall in their face though.
Yes.
Like when you come across some people that think they know everything, they got it all figured out. They don't want your 2 cents because they want to feel like they the HNIC, right? Why just sit back and just watch it flop, watch it fail. Oh man, oh man, yeah, yeah. But I be feeling bad for the like the different cultures, like the cultural stuff, right? Because in different cultures, right, like
Mhm.
they teach like they're young, like to have a lot of humility, right? Like respect your elders, like you're always listening before you speak, right? Just you're gonna be comforting, like you want people around you to feel like they are, like in charge of the situation or they have wisdom or something like that. Like a lot of cultures actually feel that way. Like, you know how you ever seen, like if you ever been out in like a social setting, right? This is a prime example for me. Like I've been in social settings with different cultures, right? And you see how like maybe like the men like walk in the front, the women have to fall behind or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a cultural thing. Like men should always fear the women. You just play the background at all times and let the men lead you and make the decisions. and I always think about that. I'm like, Dad, they've been creating this narrative for like so many years, right? And it's like, and I'll look at the women like, are you agreeing with that, or are you just going with the flow? Are you
Right.
ever heard, or you just always seen? Do you ever have a voice? Right? It makes me think about that, right? And then I'll find something in me like stirring up, like, man, I gotta walk beside my man. You know what I mean? Like, we walk side by side. We are equal partners. We're equally yoked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a lot to bring to the table. Like, my opinion matters. You know, but it's like that, but a lot of those like traits, like when they say, you just gotta walk behind and fall in line, they can be considered like shackles, like literally shackles,
Right.
you know. And I think about like take these shackles off me so I can dance, like the type of situation, right? Like I just feel like that, like they shackles, like man, like imagine a world where you can like have that freedom of speech, like where you can like voice your opinion, where you can walk alongside your person, you know. So that's what I think about, like when I think about how like culturally how like lights can be dimmed just by because they have been doing it for years and generations, years and years and years, right? Um, but you know, um, when you around like certain people, especially like older people, like I'm always like I respect my elders, I do, but it goes both ways, right? Um, you gotta give respect to get respect,
Yeah.
too. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? You
Right.
gotta give respect to get respect, right? So, um, if I'm in the presence of an elder and I feel like that they're constantly like disrespecting or downplaying my opinion or trying to silence my voice, it's like, hmm. Then I had to make that decision right there. Like, okay, am I going to keep letting you disrespect me? Because I'm a grown woman too. I'm an adult too, right?
Right.
Try to be respectful because you're my elder,
Right.
but respect goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? So that for me has been tough. Like I feel like I had my encounter with having to finally like say enough was enough and speak up against the elder that had been like disrespecting me for so long, because they knew my stance on being respectful to people, older than me and stuff, and they just kind of took it and ran with it and just felt like that they could talk to me all crazy and do all this crazy stuff. Just do the most, right? And I finally was like, uh-uh. Enough. This is the last time you're gonna disrespect me, okay? I was like, and I felt so liberated because it was long overdue. It was like I haven't let you get away with it for so long. It was long overdue. But I tell you what, they bother me no more. It did not bother me. Oh man, I'm crying. Yeah. Oh, but they say like when you like shrink yourself, right? Like you actually deny your own growth. You deny your
Yes.
you shrink yourself, right? And that was a moment for me where it was like I kept like shrinking myself, like, okay, I really want to say something, I'm biting my tongue, but they my elder, so I'm not gonna say nothing back. And finally it was like, you know what? You set your own growth because they not going to give you that respect that you want or you deserve because you ain't say nothing, right? So it was like I had to finally be like, you know what? That's your last time talking to me and doing that to me. That's enough. You got away with it too long. So yeah. But that for me was like kind of liberating. It was like, okay, my light is shining because now you respect me now. Like you respect me as being an adult. You know what I'm saying? And you understand that you can't disrespect me or talk to me like that. You know, I've never disrespected or talked to you that way. Right. But yeah, so that leads me into how you had to protect your glow. You protect your glow.
So important.
hmm It's like you want to like create like them affirmations, create those affirmations. And I don't know if you saw like my recent post where I was like, I'm trying something different this year, right? Like in the classroom specifically. Um, like a lot of like affirmations and stuff because I'm finding out that like setting a certain type of tone really kind of like instills what you're trying to portray, like
Yes.
what you want to portray, right?
Yes.
So I said I'm gonna try something different. So I just started with affirmations, right? Started putting affirmations around the classroom, just words of encouragement. I know half of my it's probably maybe one or two kids that could probably actually read them, right? But that wasn't my my point. It was I wanted if I put them, make them so heavy, like just create my space and my environment with the affirmations, right? That when they are able to start reading, they can start seeing they'll be able to like visually see it, right? And say, oh my God, like I know what that says or something, right? So in the meantime, since they can't read a lot of my informations, I just have them repeat them, right? So I always say now that I'll be doing like I know like school just started, but I'm like just starting it and creating that environment has really started helping my babies shine, right? Like, cause a lot of them, this is their first time like being in school, or they have like separation anxiety, right? Or they have that fear of abandonment, right? So by me trying to create that environment affirming that they belong, that they shine bright, that they're seen, right? So I've been having them say like, I am kind, right? Because I want my classroom centered around kindness, being kind to one another, right? And I'm like, my classroom runs on kindness. I was like, in the past, I've seen so many different scenarios where when I would talk about kindness and we'll have discussions about kindness, like it'll go through one ear and out the other. It's like, all right, I know I gotta be kind. I know what kindness look like, but they had something I wanted, so I snatched it. Or they were in my space, so I pushed it. Or something like that, right? So I'll find myself getting like super duper frustrated about it. Because I'm like, we just talked about this. We just talked about this, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a strong start. This room runs on kindness. Nothing else. Nothing else. I'm going to keep affirming that. This room runs on kindness. When you come in this room, your expectations are you to be kind. You know, like just keep repeating it and affirming it that you are kind. Like, so I just say, I am kind. Repeat, I am kind. You know, when you say it enough, you start to believe it, right? And any negative thing, or you, if you were thinking about hitting, you affirm it. Oh, I'm kind. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I have say I am kind, right? And then I have them say like I'm special. I'm a special person. So I don't deserve to be treated mean. I don't deserve to be treated unfairly because I'm special. I'm special in my own way. So I deserve to be treated with loving and kindness, right? So I'm say I'm special. Repeat. They have them say I'm special, and I have them say, you know, I'm smart, because a lot of kids they feel like they shouldn't like apply themselves, or they shouldn't work hard, or they shouldn't like try or do their best because they don't feel like they could do it. Like, no, I'm smart. We can believe it, okay? So I noticed just by like affirming that, like even kids that was not trying like the first couple of days of school, like they're trying, right? Even if it is wrong or it don't look like it should be, you know, be part of what's expected of them, they're trying because they feel like they are smart enough that they can try it. And I was like, and the more you do that, and I've been affirming it. Even though I go over there and I was like, oh my God, that's great. I see you working hard. You are trying your best. That is looking good. Like I love that you are applying it, that you are working hard, that you are at least, attempting to, make it look the way it should look, or, come up with the same like answers that it should come up with. Like, I see you trying because you know that you are smart enough to do it, right? Because, like, and it's like I said, I'll set the tone like in so many different ways. Like, like y'all ain't gonna be sitting here playing around, goofing off, not trying because you feel like you can't do it and stuff. Like, nope, nope, you gotta try. And then my last one is say, I am loved. So I am loved, and like I keep affirming it, I am loved, right? Because I always have that sternness but fairness type of mentality. It's like expectations for everybody. Okay. And that might mean that it might feel hard when I have to, go to like a level 2 or level 3 voice, to redirect you. But at the end of the day, you're still loved. And this is my way of showing you that I do love you. If I don't get a little stern with you, I'm not helping you. I'm doing you a disservice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's when mommy mode kicks in. I call, I call that my mommy mode. I'm like, this is not the first time that you've heard a stern voice, having to redirect you. So that's my mommy voice kicks in, and I feel like kids can really respect it a little more because they see that you care, and they see that you're passionate and you want them to do the right thing, Yes.
Mm.
So that's been so that's what we were talking about, like protecting your glow. And it's like how can you protect your glow? And spaces that seem like they're hostile or indifferent to you shining, right? So let's first say like the first step is awareness. Being aware, like knowing what makes your light unique and what conditions help grow.
Mhm.
Right? So I literally just talked about affirmations. So like me affirming it is helping my students grow. Like it's protecting their grow, right? And their glow, because I'm creating a space that's unique for them, right? I'm creating a space to help it grow. Hey, thank you for coming in. Yeah, I'm creating a space that helps it grow, right? Just keep nurturing it, right? And it says, like, reflect on times when you felt truly alive, valued, and seen. Right? Yeah, 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 yeah. Think about those times, right? That's a way of protecting your growth. It's like, what were you doing? Who were you with when you felt alive, right? What did an environment feel like?
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So we're talking about like protecting your glow. And can you think of situations where you felt like you were shining bright and your glow was being nourished, or
Mm.
you felt like you can shine as opposed to other environments?
Yes. So I do have a moment. I have quite a few moments, but this one, it may seem so simple, but it's something that still impacted me to today. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, I ended up going to some cousin's house, and I stayed for a few nights. And my cousin is a sweetheart, and all she did was offered to make me some waffles, right?
Okay.
Something so simplistic, something mundane that I could have made for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But she offered to make them for me, and of course, I'm not going to pass that up.
Pass down the waffles. Mm, right.
I'm not gonna pass up some waffles. So she goes and she comes back, and the waffles, like they have the syrup, they have the whipped cream, like
Mm.
looking tasty.
Wow. Mm.
And I'm like, oh my, oh my, I haven't tasted anything like that. But in the moment, I felt the love. I felt the love from her, the care, the warmth, and that warmth meant a lot to me. She
Yeah.
cared enough to do this to me. She didn't have to do it. I could have
Right.
just moseyed myself to the kitchen and make it, but she cared enough to do it for me.
Yeah.
And that was
Nice.
sweet. That was
Nice.
kind.
Nice. Nice. So you said you felt truly alive and you felt valued and
Yes.
seen, right? Love
Yes.
that. Love that. Love that. Yeah, yeah. It's very important to protect your glow, right? And especially like creating them boundaries. I know in the past we just talked about boundaries. Boundaries, 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 right? Boundaries are paramount. They are paramount. You have got to have those boundaries, right? Whether that means learning to say no to situations, right? And sometimes that's hard to say no to situations, right? But it's like as I got my wisdom years, like I learned how to say no. And I now I'm a better person for being able to say no, right? But sometimes you gotta learn how to say no
Yeah.
to situations. You gotta learn how to say no to even certain type of conversation. If it's not helping you grow, if it's not productive, if it's a negative situation, it's gonna bring you down, bring your energy down. You gotta learn how to say no to the conversation, right? Um, I know in the past I've had to turn myself away, like because sometimes how you say like misery loves company, right? Okay, so you might come across that person that's so miserable, they want to pull you in and feed you into a negative conversation. They might want to be combative, right? They might want to start an argument. Mm-mm. I'm like, I'm gonna leave you arguing by yourself. I'm gonna exit left. You sit there, keep that energy by yourself. I'm not even gonna engage with it, okay? That's part of my boundaries because you try to protect my energy. You're trying to protect my glow. I can't glow and thrive with all that negativity, okay? Right? Right? And then it falls in line too with like saying no to commitments that make you hide your true self, right? That's a big one. Like something that doesn't speak to you. It's not a part of who you are. Sometimes you have to say no to that. Say no, thank you, I appreciate it, but no, that's not who I am. I can't be my true authentic self in that type of situation, right? I feel like that's a big one because sometimes people tend to align themselves with commitments that they really don't want to do or be a part of, you know. And they in it, they miserable or they regretting saying yes to that commitment or something. So that's why I said like them boundaries are really paramount, right? And you have to like really practice that general assertion. You know, you ain't gotta be all rude about it. We talk about if I like you could be kind and respectful. and you know, right? Right.
Right.
And but standing firm, you can be respectful and say, I thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. However, it's the time that's not gonna work out. Don't even want to say, but you can do it kindly, but in a way to let them know that, your no is your no, like, and so they're not like trying to pull you into it, right? And when you want to like really protect your glory, like you really gotta surround yourself with people who are gonna celebrate your shine. Boop, boop. They gonna celebrate your shine, honey. Like what I call like my cheerleaders. Like they got my back. Like they my hype person, right? And they want to see the best in you. Like they bring out the best in you of who you are, right? And you may have that person or people that are going to support you and going to surround yourself with you, and they're going to shower you with love, and they're going to uplift you. It's all about uplifting, right? You don't want to surround yourself with people that's constantly trying to down you and dim you, stopping you down with negativity, right? Stopping you on they want you to be the best version of you are. So it's like sometimes you can be in those situations where like you might not can't change your environment, right? But you gotta that's when you create those pockets of confirmation. So if you can't change the environment, this is when your support system comes in play.
Yes.
You have like that trusted friend that you could pick up the phone and call or something, and they're there to remind you of how brilliant you are, how amazing you are, right? They're there to uplift you, right? Or you have something that you love to do, like with your hands or something, like to block out that world, surround yourself in the environment. Say, you know what, this is my time. Then I'm gonna. If you like to draw, I know you love to draw. Like I'm just gonna draw a masterpiece or something. I'm gonna create something fantastic. Just to block yourself like out of that environment and stuff like that, right? So lot of times, it not being able to change your environment, but just like creating like a positive space just for you helps a lot. You know, you know, block it out. Like I said, I got that person. Okay, I'm feeling down. Let me call them up and talk. I know they're gonna lift my spirit. They're gonna make you feel good, right? Or like I said, I'm gonna do something. I like working with my hands. I like putting things together. I like doing this craft. So I'm gonna let the negativity stay over there, and I'm gonna do something creative for myself, right? Yeah. So that's another way, like protecting your glow, right? Yeah. So like it's very important. Like them affirmations and that self talk definitely matter. Like you reminding yourself over and over again, like my light is worthy of being seen. My light is worthy of being seen. And that's what I speak to myself. Like my light shines so bright. I'm worthy of being seen, right? So I'm tired of like dumbing down, not voicing my opinion, being seen and not heard. Like those days is like over for me. And it's funny 'cause I was literally just joking about it this week. I was like, I don't like to be that person where every time you turn around, I have like opinion on something, or I have to like bring light to a situation. I was like, but if nobody's going to advocate for me, who's going to do it? I have to advocate for myself, right? And I had to keep myself. I'm like, if I don't advocate, if I don't speak up, nobody else is going to do it. And even if you know somebody does, right? So it's like, it's like I bring value to being my true authentic self, right? If I feel like if I don't be me, I'm not being authentic. That's a part of who I am. I can be very vocal at times, and I always joke about it in the past. Like my mouth got me in a lot of trouble. In the past, my mom got me in a lot of trouble, so I had to learn to like think twice, speak once in a lot of situations. And I still think about it there when I'm especially like when I'm at work. I was like, think twice, speak once. Think twice, speak once. Oh man, right. Yeah. But You don't ever feel like that you did not earn the right to shine because you have. It's like you used to always say, I did not have to earn the right to shine. Like I am qualified. I did not have to earn it, right? Yeah, it's just like those just saying these simple things like to yourself every day, right?
Yes.
Can like take away that dim, even if you feel like that you need to dim yourself. Like, I deserve to shine. I deserve to shine, right? And you just show up as your true self, your true authentic self, right? Yep,
It's important to be kind to yourself,
exactly.
especially like even if you mess up, you make a mistake or something like that, instead of being mean to yourself, like, oh, why am I so dumb? Why am I so stupid? Why can't I just no? Be kind.
Be
Tell yourself
kind to yourself.
it's okay. I'm only
Yep,
human. I made a
yep,
mistake. I'll do better next time. I learned.
exactly, exactly. Yep, yep, yep. You definitely want to like embrace your light, right? Like
Yes.
I am fabulous. I am resilient. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Like, and sometimes you might be in a situation where you might feel like your light is not shining that bright, right? And it might be like that little flicker, that little peak
Yeah.
of light, right? But you don't ever feel like that you need to like dim it and make it go totally away. Cause I know, like I said, I go out like I'm good at like reading the room. I always talk about reading the room, right? Like especially if I'm around people that I'm normally not around, or an environment that I'm normally not around, I'll read the room. I'll look around, watch people's energy, their personalities. I'm like, are they warm and welcoming, or am I feeling like I'm getting a side eye? Am I feeling like that I'm not welcome in this space? Like I'll just sit there and read. Like I'm not even say I might come in saying hello, you know, like hey, like because I'm always gonna be cordial. I don't believe in walking in a space that don't at least speaking or greeting
Yeah.
someone. Okay,
Right.
and I that's one of my pet peeves is when people come into my space that they don't speak or greet. I'm like, for one, that's rude. Okay, so I always have an issue with that when people walk into my space and don't at least speak or acknowledge me, right? Because I'm like, if I walked into your space, I will at least speak to you, okay? Even if I don't say much after that, but I will speak and acknowledge that I'm in your space or I'm in your presence, right? So if I'm in a situation like that and I'm not really familiar, or if it's a different environment, I might sit back and play the background, right? Or just you kind of read. Like I kind of read people's vibes. It lets me know, like, okay, is this an environment I would like to be in again? Is their energy off? Do I particularly care for being around this certain person or people or something like that? Like you could actually like read vibes and energy, right? And like aura could be really, really thick. And we talked about energy before, but like you can feel energy. You can feel energy.
Yeah.
You definitely can. You can definitely feel energy, right? So if you are that type of person that you like to like shine bright and you feel like that you're not being able to, that you're being like like they like, no, let me get some water and throw that candle light out or something like that. Like you just here, you ain't here to talk. It's like that's not the situation for you. It's not situation out. Yeah. And like I said, I read the room. It's like I'm not going there to like fight battles. Like let me talk. No. I'm not here to fight you, but I just know that I won't be in this space too much anymore. Because I already see the vibe. I already know what time it is. you know? Yeah, so yeah. But for those that have joined us, we have been talking about how to keep your shine in spaces that dim your light. It's very important that you keep your light shining because it's a lot of situations and scenarios where you could feel like your light is being dim, right? But you really, really, really want to like shine, right? And be unapologetic about it.
Yes.
You know, be unapologetic about it. Like when I look at people, like it could be somebody I don't even know, and I see them living their best life, like they shining bright, and like, they're not apologizing for who they are or what they're doing. I'm like, yes, yes, honey, yes, yes, yes. Especially like for people that not who are stereotyped. I want to say because sometimes people could place a stereotype on you or have a certain stigma on you. You're not supposed to do that, or you're not supposed to be looked that way and be able to do that, right? And I can think about a funny moment. So, like Pops and I, we recently, went to Alaska last year, and I can honestly say it's not a lot of people that look like us. Okay, so what I found interesting was it was one of those either we were being embraced because we looked like us and we were doing something different outside the box,
Mhm.
got that side eye, or like, why are you here? You know what I mean? So when when I got a sense of that, why are you here? It made me want to shine even brighter.
Actually,
To shine brighter, like Hunty. I listen. I can hang with the best of them. Like I deserve to be here just as much as you.
exactly.
My skin color should not make a difference. My ethnicity should not make a difference. This is a world we all entitled to live our best life. We all entitled to see the world. Okay, so you're not any better than me because of how you look. So if I got that kind of energy, then I'm like, okay, got it, got it. You don't think I should be here, okay? Because this is not my type of world. But I love seeing new things. I love doing new things. I love trying new things. Hello, hello, hi Travis, and thank you for coming in. I love I love trying new things. I love doing new things. I love seeing new things, right? I always have like I call those out of the box moments, right? Especially doing things that a person like you might think I wouldn't do. But that's the thing that I want to try. So like I was saying, like if I got that that energy, like, okay, you shouldn't be here. It was like, okay, I want to try this. I want to do that. I want to do that, right? Because I deserve to do this, and I want to try something new and have a new experience. So that I say that to say because while we were in Alaska, we went into Canada to the Yukon, right? It's, all the mountains and the waterfalls is so beautiful, but they have like the suspension bridge, right? So you know me. I was like, I feel like I'm a daredevil sometimes. Like I'm willing to try some things, right? But I had my mind. I'm like, when we go to the Yukon, I want to try this suspension bridge. So, whew, auntie, that bridge was a piece of work. So Pops literally like videotaped me on this bridge because I was like, I need to this experience needs to be on tape because nobody's gonna believe that I did this because underneath this suspended bridge, right? This is a narrow bridge suspended, right? Just linked by like some real heavy duty chains for this bridge, right? Nothing else. But underneath of it, it's like 5 category raging water. What that means is if you are in these waters, it's going to suck you up in a matter of seconds. There's nothing nobody can do about it. There is no saving you. Okay? You're gone, baby. You're gone. So this suspension bridge is literally over these 5 category raging waters. But I was so determined that no, I did not come this far not step out the box. So I'll be walking across this suspension bridge over this 5 category raging waters to the other side. And when I got there, I felt so free and so liberated. Like I did it. Like I conquered my fear. I wasn't afraid, And I was like the only one. I don't think it was nobody else that looked like me and Pops that did it. That was the most craziest part of it. So when I got there, I felt so good. But once we got to the other side, I was like, now I gotta go back, go back across it to land. I was like, wow. It's like, man, oh man. It was like I conquered my fear. I was like, but nah, we gotta go back because this is our only way back home.
You got conquer
But yeah, but that was definitely a experience of a lifetime. Experience of a lifetime. Yes, just stepping out of the box and just like being one with nature, We went into a town called Liarsville, right? Liarsville. It was crazy. And got to, do what they call like a salmon bake. Salmon bakes are big in like Alaska and stuff. Where they like cook the salmon like over a fresh open pit of fire and stuff like that. So that was cool. That was cool. But yeah, but that was one of those like step out of the box moments, like letting my shine like shine, like not dimming my light, like erasing those stereotypes of, you can't do this because you look a certain way. You shouldn't be allowed to do this because you look a certain way, right? You know, that's a good way to let your light shine through. Like, don't dim your light for nobody, despite what they think about you, despite how they look at you, you know, despite their opinions of you, right? Letting your light shine bright and being unapologetic about it. Right. I said like radiating your gifts, right? All right.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so that's I like and I think about it, it just like brings me so much joy, right? Because like we're talking about like how to shine in spaces that dim your light, because there's a lot of spaces that try to dim, right? But you have to like not only let your light shine for you, you gotta shine for other people because sometimes they might have been having trouble navigating,
Exactly.
you know?
That
They
you're
might have been
lighting,
having trouble.
yeah, you're lighting up other people's light shine.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah. So if they see that you are shining unapologetically, they might say, "Wow, man, like maybe I'll shine. Maybe I'll step out of my box a little bit." You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll stop sitting high in the corner. Maybe I'll stop being mute in situations where I need to speak. You know, so you might be able to help somebody else, right? So yeah, yeah, and but it's like when we talk about shining though, like it's that fine line too. Because sometimes some people just want to always be the center of attention. That's
Yeah.
just like that's facts, right? That's facts. Some people just want to be the center of attention. They want to be the bright shining light wherever they go, right? Like I'm here, like I'm Jerome in the house, like that, right? Like they step in and it's like everybody supposed to be on pause, and you get this big old grand entrance. Like we ain't talking about shining like that. That's doing too much.
That's
That's doing too much because I've literally been in a situation where like I'm in a place or an environment and that one person come in and it's like, hey, how you doing? Like they all loud about it. It's like I'm here. Everybody stop what you doing and take a look. Like, no, that's doing too much. You're doing too much. Right. But yeah, yeah. So you definitely don't want to be like arrogant about it. Like when your light is shining, right?
an attention
Yeah.
seeker.
Right, attention seekers, right? But yeah, but you definitely want to and do it in a way that it's like encouraging and it's just like self love. That I love myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I love myself, right? Yeah. So it's like when you are like shining, right, and not like dimming your light. It's like you give permission to other people to do the same. They're not trying to dim your light because it's like you're saying, all right, you're not dimming your light. You're not sitting quiet. You speak up for yourself. You live out loud. So it helps them embrace you and it helps them like know how to interact you. Okay, good, babe. Thank you. Good, good, good. Glad they finally got to it. Yeah. So you help others. You help others be able to know how to treat you. Like you say, like you are your biggest advocate. Like you show people how to treat you.
Yes.
You have to show people how to treat you. You know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You teach people the way you want to be treated. All right. Because if they see that you're not standing up for yourself and that you're dimming your light and you sit in a corner and you just be a yes ma'am or mm-hmm, yeah,
Mhm.
like never have a voice or opinion, they're going to treat you accordingly. You're like, all
Exactly.
right, well, you shut up. I'm going to speak and do everything for you. And I'm going to treat you like you nothing that you just there to just sit and listen and not and do what I tell you. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So you definitely want to be your own model, be your own advocate, right? You like show that you have the courage, right? To speak up and shine, right? Be authentic. And like sometimes it might require you to like be vulnerable in situations, like you might have been in that situation like, okay, do I talk? Do I say something? If I do, am I going to get scrutinized for it? Like I've had those situations. Like I feel real vulnerable. Like if I say something, like, but then I feel good after I did. Like so
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. There's situations where you have to be meek, not
yeah,
weak, but
yeah.
meek.
Right. Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. Right. Yes. 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 Yep, yep, yep. But but every time that you enter a space, you want to have that suggestion that your brightness is contagious. Like you can shine bright, and you can shine bright, and you can shine bright.
Let's not
Like
be
you get a
like
car, and you get a car. Right, 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 right. Yeah, yeah. Like it could like actually like transform a space, literally. Like, relationships could change because sometimes people will see you be like, oh my God, like they so cool, they so chill. I want to be a part of their world. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can attract people just like by your radiance and your light and your positive energy. Sometimes you can like chat like I like me, like if I feel your positive energy and your vibes are just radiating, it's like that's somebody I can vibe with.
that.
That's
That.
somebody I can vibe with, right? You know what I'm saying? They shine bright. They don't apologize for it. Like I can rock with them, right? I too, like I do that. I would literally do that. I would literally do that. I'm like, oh, I can rock with them. I can see myself hanging with these people or this person, right? That's my kind of people. Yep, 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 yep. But you just always want to let your ideas and your laughter and your compassion be seen. Like let it be contagious.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Be willing to like share your stories and like your talents and stuff, right? And even if you got a vision for something, be willing to like just share that because you never know who you helping, right? Yes, yeah. Yep. Woo! Ciao, ciao, ciao. Yeah. But sometimes trying to shine like can be like a journey. It is. It's a journey. It's
True.
definitely a journey. Trying to shine, right? Like you go ahead those setbacks, like you said, you run across like those haters. Them haters, people that don't want you to shine, right? And you might have those moments where like you having that doubt, that self-doubt and say, I don't know, should I? Should I not? You know what I mean? So it's always like different scenarios, right? That you could feel like that you need to dim your light, but we shining away though. We shine those way, right? So you just think about like what your purpose is, right? Think of
Right?
think of right. Think about your purpose, right? Think about your dreams. Like what do you envision for yourself, right? Think about like the connections that you would like to make. Like you said, closed mouth don't get fed. I always think about that. Closed mouth don't get fed. There might be a connection that you might need. You know, that this person might be aligned with your vision or your dream, right?
Yes.
And you collaborate with them, might you know help like open up a brand new world, or that person might be looking for somebody to collaborate with, so yeah, so you definitely want y'all to use those connections, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yep. Let that light shine. Leave a trail of it, honey. So when people come behind, they're like, oh my God, that they were there. I know they were there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Because when I think of especially like artists, like they use their talents as a gift to the world. You know what I'm saying? They use their talents as a gift to the world. They sharing themselves with the world, letting their life sound bright. Yeah.
Yeah.
So shine away, people, shine away.
Rightly.
Shine away. Yes. So that has been our topic for today. Like how to keep your shine in spaces that dim your light. Yes, yes. So always shine bright. Don't
Shine.
ever dim your light for anybody or anything. All right. Because you are important. You are unique in your own way. And
Yeah.
if you dim in your light, then you ain't never going to be seen. You ain't never going to be heard. Right. So Very important to shine away. Yeah. So, but
Beautiful.
I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for those that tuned in for Sister Talk Sunday today. I realized that you could have been anywhere on these YouTube streets and you were here a part of this live. It's all love, all love, all love. Truly appreciate you for being here. As you see, Sister Talk look a little different. I have my youngest daughter, Angel, with me. She is my co-host for today. Yes. So I appreciate y'all for being here and being a part of this today. And if you have not done anything for you, please do something for you. Please do something for you. Love for you. Yes, shine bright like a diamond, guys. Shine bright like a diamond. And I want you to have an amazing week. Have an amazing week. Again, I'm TB from TB's Life. This is my lovely daughter, Angel. And you might see her as Machine Dial up in these YouTube streets. I appreciate you for being here. I really appreciate you being here and being my lovely co-host for today. Yeah. But with that being said, everybody have a great week. All right. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.